Okay, good morning, boys. So we are going to carry on today in our workbooks, the one with the punctuation in front, and we're going to do the page that's titled The Language of War. Okay, so please make sure you have your worksheets in front of you, and we're going to go through it. Okay. This is actually just a continuation of euphemisms. Okay. Uh, just if we read the title there on top, it says euphemisms are an attempt to soften an unpleasant reality. They are often used by politicians to hide, cover, and ignore the truth about war. Now we're talking about war specifically. Okay. So an example is in the 1940s, America changed the name of the War Department to the Department of Defense. If you think about it, like that already is a euphemism, because now war is not being described as people killing each other, it's described as people defending themselves. And that's why it's the Department of Defense. Okay. Under the Reagan administration, the MX missile was renamed the Peacekeeper. A missile was called a Peacekeeper. Okay, that's another example of a euphemism. My camera keeps coming on and off. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what my laptop is doing to me. And then the last point, during World War II, the psychological syndrome, shell shock, became known as war fatigue and later as post-traumatic stress syndrome. These are all euphemisms to cover up the reality of the effects of war. Okay. So there's a table there where it's been provided for you, a bunch of euphemisms that were used during the war, and I want you to write out for me what the realities are, what the actual meaning of the words are. There's about 6 or 7 of them. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and you guys are gonna fill them in, and then we're gonna look at the answers together. Okay. Okay, so you've gone through some of the words on the table, and you've tried to translate some of them. I know it is quite hard. They do look quite difficult, and a lot of them needed actually sentences and phrases in order to answer. But let's look at the answers. The first one was easy enough. Casualty. Shavir. Okay, and also deaths. So deaths and injuries. Okay. Yeah, I also said death, but I think now that when Shavir actually said injuries, I think it's everyone that was like affected by whatever attack took place. Oh, did you look it up, Samuel? Okay, let me just have a look in the dictionary so we can all be on the same page. Casualty. How can you not have casualty in the dictionary? Because that's not an injury, right? It's a disease. Let's see what Google says. A person killed or injured in a war or accident. So a casualty can be death or it can be an injury. But either way, I think you're right, Samuel. It is as a result of an injury. So the death or the injury is as a result of an injury. Okay. Seth, your hands up. Oh, okay. Next one, go Seth. Seth is trying to avoid the difficult ones that come later. He's like, let me answer this one now. Okay. So I think that it's not necessarily whether there's not necessarily a result of death, but there's definitely like either an explosion or gunfire from the same side, from people on the same side as you. That's friendly fire. So not necessarily that anyone was killed, but just people shooting, and then you're like, oh, that's friendly fire. Then that means that's those shots are fired by someone on your side.
But you can be internalized.
Yeah, but that's by definition, it doesn't necessarily have, you can, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Okay, let me read to you what it says, the definition that I found. Friendly fire is an attack by a military force on friendly or neutral troops while attempting to attack the enemy. Okay. So do you see in the definition, it doesn't really make provision for anyone being injured or anything like that. But it is definitely an attack. It is an attack. It is shots being fired or an explosion or whatever, but from someone that is on your side. That's what makes them friendly. That's what makes the fire friendly. Okay, collateral damage. Who wants to try? Nicola, do you want to try? What's friendly fire? Collateral damage. I don't know how to make this thing disappear. Nicola? Okay, Keanu. Or was it Nicholas? I can't hear you speaking, Nicola, so maybe something's wrong with your mic. Nicholas, do you want to go? I think your hand was up. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the other people that got injured or killed, but they weren't the target. So it's like if I threw a ball at Nicholas's face and it hit him, it bounced off his face and then it hit Seth on the shoulder. He's collateral damage. He's like the extra damage, but he wasn't actually the target. Okay. If you think about it, like attacks like 9/11, for example, um, the intention was for America to be attacked, right? The people that died that weren't maybe necessarily American were collateral damage. They were like the excess damage of the intended attack, and even the innocent lives. Like it wasn't supposed to be killing people. It was supposed to be making a point about the trade centers and whatever. So the other people that died, that was not the intention. They are collateral damage. Okay, what's a preempted attack? Preempted. Yes, sir. To attack the enemy before they attack you. And the thing is, that goes back to police brutality that happens in the States a lot. A lot of men like a lot of black men that get shot by policemen, those are preempted attacks. So that cop will shoot the black man because they think maybe he was reaching into his pocket to take out a gun, and in the meantime they were taking out a cell phone, or you know what I mean, there was nothing in their pockets. There was like a brush, like a hairbrush in their pocket, and the policeman would think that they are being attacked, and they would attack first, so they would shoot first. That is preempted attack. Okay. Well, that's how they justify it. They're like, I thought I was in danger and I thought I was going to be shot, so I shot first. Do you see how the preempted is like, we're saying I attacked before he attacked, but more often than not, I don't always know for a fact if you were going to attack. Do you see? Okay. Ethnic cleansing, Ryan Andrews. Ryan! Okay. Okay. Does someone else want to try? You didn't even look it up, Ryan. Come on. I said if you Google this, I'll forgive you. Ross, do you want to try? Yes, it's a killing of an ethnic group. So the Holocaust, the killing of Jewish people, that is an ethnic cleansing. So where they kill a group of people of one race. And they call it a cleansing, because a cleansing is supposed to leave you pure afterwards. So do you see how horrific it is to call it that, but you're killing people? Okay. Nicholas? Essentially. The genocide, it is the genocide of a particular group of people, a specific group of people. Okay. All right. Air support or a surgical strike? What is that, Oliver? Oliver Botha. Yo, Oliver Botha is not with us. Who's this SpongeBob wannabe? Mudiwa. Okay, so you're close. It is when you are inflicting when you are attacking a specific military group. A specific, so now you're attacking soldiers. You're not like, so in war they used to attack towns, and if they catch soldiers, they catch soldiers. If they catch people, they catch people. Then that's collateral damage. But a surgical strike is when I'm specifically shooting at or attacking a specific military group, like specifically that military group, and I'm not going for the city or the town or the Twin Towers, for example. It's attacking the specific people that I'm targeting. Okay. All right. The battle for hearts and minds. Stefan, do you want to try? If you Google it, there's an answer. Hey, Michael Alfick. You can straight up Google this. Okay, so in the Vietnam War, they called it the Battle for Hearts and Minds, and what they were doing is they were trying to win the popular support. And if you know anything, I don't know much about the war, but the Vietnamese War, but I know that that was a pointless war. That was it was for no reason, and so people died for no reason. So they wanted to win the popular support of let's just see. Let me just double check. I half wrote this. Battle for Hearts and okay, so it says to win the popular support of the Vietnamese people and to help to defeat the Viet Cong insurgency. Okay, so that's what America was trying to do. I'm not going to go into the politics, but the point is just seeing that this was America was trying to get Vietnam on their side, a certain side of Vietnam, to go against its own people. That was the reality of what that word was, of what that phrase was. Okay. So then if you look at the cartoon at the bottom, is this, if you look at this, how this little boy is killed in war, is this inevitable damage, collateral damage? Is it smart bomb casualty? Is it precision guided missile casualty? Humanitarian weapon casualty? And Iraq liberated from Saddam's evil regime? So you'd have to know the politics of that war. But at the end of the day, someone's child died. This is an innocent child that died here, and these are all the and these are all the euphemisms that we use to explain it away and to make it sort of okay. Do you see? Am I making sense? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Sometimes I feel like I'm alone. This is why I want us to come back to school. Okay. So that's euphemisms. You must remember that euphemisms are always about, so even with euphemisms, I can even use it if, instead of calling you fat, I can call you round, or I can call you heavy boned. See, so instead of calling you fat, and then connotations, obviously the deeper meaning of when I call you fat or when I call you round. All right. We're going to stop there for today, and I'm going to